Jetsons was a cartoon created by Hanna-Barbera sometime in the 1960s, and it was very popular along with the Flintstones. This game was released late after new episodes were produced in the mid-80s of the show, so what gives, Taito? I guess a series as classic as the Jetsons deserves some love. Thankfully, LJN didn't get their grubby mitts on this game. According to some sources, it was Natsume who got their hands on this game and developed it. And this was long before they worked on the Harvest Moon series. George, the main character, is tasked by Spacely, his boss, to stop Cogswell and whatever it is he's doing to make money. Sounds like good old corporate sabotage to me. Anyways. Quite honestly, if Spacely asked me to do this, I'd tell him to go f*** himself. In fact, George deserves way more than a promotion after what he has to do here. A thankless job like one many of us have in the real world. The game is a simple side-scrolling adventure where most of the time you're dodging obstacles and enemies. Thankfully, there's a hit meter that gets stronger as the game progresses, but this doesn't make anything any easier. George, the character you control, can jump or pick up objects and slide them or arc them into the air as an attack. Now, there's actually some skill involved in order to hit what you're aiming at. Jumping around platforms is alright, but there are a couple of particular areas in the game that were utter bullshit or could have been designed better. Flipping gravity was a new concept in video games at the time, and it adds another dimension within a dimension. Dimenception? The game's not very forgiving with its continues. If you mess up, you more or less start at the beginning of the level if you die, and you will die, likely for bullshit reasons. Now, if you can get over that hurdle, then there is a challenge if you're looking for one. But let's talk about the oddball in the room. Pills? Really? Is George a pill pusher? What kind of example would he be setting for his kids? Actually, if you read what Rosie says, they're capsule packs or something like that. Probably equivalent to Capsule Corpse's capsules in Dragon Ball Z. This is basically ammunition for your specials, which you can activate using Start, and then the D-pad to the right or the left. Some of these specials are cheap, like the remote control, but on some bosses, you need them in order to advance. Now, for the convenience of my viewers, I tried this game with a tool assist, and as such, I had a buffer. But if you don't know how to use a special item or when to use a special item in a particular situation, you can end up dying and becoming frustrated very quickly. At least I would, if it weren't for save states. The one level where you will get royally pissed off is the Rock Concert Hall stage. I played it at 30 frames per second, slowed down just in order to complete it. But that shit must be epic bull on full speed. Someone claimed it was easy. I don't know about that. At about 2 to 4 hours, depending on how you play, this game is short. All of them back then pretty much were. I was impressed by the attention to detail in the levels that Natsume provided. Except for that second level where George goes to some jungle. Ha! A pun. Level that really doesn't fit in with the whole space age theme. It's likely that the design team, who was Japanese, likely watched dub episodes of the American show. With respect to making it feel like a Jetsons game, I'm proud to say that they actually did a pretty good job. All in all, Cogswell's Capers is a well-put-together package that helps define the NES as being a console with hard games. It isn't the most difficult game on the NES by far, but because of some design choices, you can be left frustrated, and especially because there's no password system to speak of. For 1992, that's kind of acceptable, and quite late in the NES's lifespan. So, in order to beat this one, you have to sit through the entire playthrough or leave your NES on all the time, and for me, the latter is unacceptable. The music was put together well, thought was put into the design of the stages, and the controls aren't a total washout, but they could definitely use improvement. Given all of this, I'd give the game a 77 out of 100, and that's a very respectable score for an NES game. Just prepared to get pissed off.